Life is a funny thing. We often spend so much time trying to please others, to fit into expectations, to be liked, that we forget the most important person in our lives, ourselves. We say yes when we want to say no. We bend over backward to accommodate people who wouldn't lift a finger for us, and we keep giving until there's nothing left of us. And then one day we wake up and wonder, why does no one respect me? Why does no one value me? The answer is simple. If you don't know your own worth, the world won't either. The way people treat you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. If you allow yourself to be walked over, to be taken for granted, to be ignored, then that's exactly what people will do. It's not because they're bad or cruel, it's because you never set the boundaries. You never showed them what you deserved. Life, my friend, is not a charity where people will hand you respect and opportunities just because you exist. You have to demand it. You have to prove, first to yourself and then to the world, that you are worthy. I remember when I first came to Mumbai, I was just another boy with big dreams and no background, no connections, no one to call sir or madam for favors. People laughed at me. Who is this guy? He doesn't have the looks of a hero. He doesn't have a famous last name. He doesn't have any godfather. And for a moment, I almost believed them. Almost. But then I reminded myself, why should someone else decide my worth? Why should I let their opinion define me? I knew what I was capable of. I knew the fire inside me. And so I refused to let their doubts become my reality. That's what you need to do. You need to stop waiting for the world to acknowledge you and start acknowledging yourself. You need to stop seeking approval and start giving yourself permission to be great. Because the world doesn't give you what you deserve, it gives you what you demand. Look at the most successful people around you. Are they the ones who said yes to everything? Who quietly accepted whatever was given to them? No. They are the ones who stood up, who spoke up, who made sure that when they entered a room, people knew their worth. Think about it. When you go shopping and see a luxury brand, do you ever question why it's so expensive? No, you just accept that it has value. But when you see something cheap, something easily available, you don't think twice about bargaining. Why? Because one has established its worth and the other hasn't. People are the same. If you treat yourself like a discount item, don't be surprised when people start bargaining with your time, your energy, and your self-respect. If you make yourself too available, too accommodating, too eager to please, people will take you for granted. That's not cruelty, that's just human nature. So what should you do? First, start respecting your own time. Stop saying yes to every request, every favor, every invitation, just because you're afraid of disappointing people. You're not here to be a people pleaser. You are here to live a meaningful life. And that means prioritizing yourself. If something doesn't serve you, if it doesn't bring you joy, if it doesn't align with your goals, say no. And don't feel guilty about it. Second, stop seeking validation. Too many people waste their lives waiting for someone to tell them, you're good enough. But why should you wait? The moment you decide that you are enough, that you are valuable, is the moment everything changes. The world mirrors your confidence. If you walk into a room believing you don't belong, people will treat you like an outsider. If you walk in like you own the place, they will respect you even if they don't. And that brings me to the next point. Stop being afraid of not being liked. The biggest trap in life is trying to make everyone happy. No matter what you do, someone will have a problem with you. If you succeed, they'll say you're arrogant. If you fail, they'll say you're useless. So why waste your time worrying about opinions that change like the weather? Instead, focus on being respected. Respect comes from standing your ground, from being authentic, from knowing your worth and never compromising it. You see, life is a game of perception. If you act like a servant, people will treat you like one. If you act like a king, People will recognize your royalty even before you have a crown. That doesn't mean being arrogant. It means being unapologetically confident in who you are. I'll tell you a little secret. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you trained yourself into. It starts with small things. Stand tall. Speak clearly. Stop apologizing for things that don't need an apology. When you walk into a room, make eye contact. When you talk, own your words. And most importantly, when someone tries to undervalue you, don't just smile and accept it, challenge it. I've lost count of the times people have tried to undermine me in my career. Directors, producers, critics, so many of them dismiss me. Shah Rukh can't do this role. Shah Rukh isn't fit for this industry. If I'd listened to them, I wouldn't be standing here today. I refuse to be a doormat. I refuse to let anyone tell me my worth. And guess what? The same people who doubted me, who ignored me, who overlooked me, are the ones who now sing my praises. That's life. But here's the thing. You don't have to be an actor to apply this lesson. It applies to every field, every relationship, every situation in life. Whether you're in business, in school, in a job, in a friendship, or in love, know your worth. Don't settle for a job that underpays and overworks you just because you're scared to ask for more. Don't stay in relationships where you are not valued just because you're afraid of being alone. Don't let society tell you what you can or cannot be just because you don't fit their idea of success. Your worth is not determined by others. It is determined by you. And the moment you truly understand that, the world will start treating you differently. You will no longer attract people who take you for granted. You will no longer tolerate situations that drain you. You will no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone because you will already know that you are enough. So my friend, stop being a doormat. Stop letting people wipe their feet on your dreams, your time, your kindness. Stand up, take control, own your space, because the world belongs to those who dare to claim it. And if you ever doubt yourself, just remember, your story is not over, the climax is yet to come. And, as we say in Bollywood, picture api baki hai, meros. Life is not something that just happens to you. It is not a script written by someone else where you are merely playing a supporting role. It is your story, your journey, and your stage. The problem is too many people live their lives as if they are extras in someone else's film. They let others dictate what they should do, how they should feel, and what they should become. But if you want to win in life, if you want to truly live, you have to take control of your story. You have to stop waiting for permission, stop looking for validation, and start writing your own destiny. Most people live their lives reacting rather than acting. They let circumstances, society, and the expectations of others determine their choices. They let fear keep them stuck in places where they don't belong, in jobs they hate, in relationships that drain them. They convince themselves that they have no choice, that life is unfair, that luck is not on their side. But the truth is, the moment you take responsibility for your own life, everything changes. You see, life is like a movie. If you don't take charge, someone else will direct it for you. And let me tell you, no one else will ever direct your life with your best interest in mind the way you will. Others will write you into their narratives in roles that suit them. Sometimes as the friend who always listens, sometimes as the employee who never complains, sometimes as the person who is always available. But if you don't decide who you are, the world will decide for you. And most of the time, it won't be in your favor. Think about all the great stories you have ever seen or read. The hero is never just sitting around waiting for things to happen. The hero makes things happen. The hero takes risks. The hero fights back when the odds are against them. The hero refuses to let anyone else write their ending. So why are you any different? The biggest mistake people make is believing that their circumstances are stronger than their will. They believe that because they were born poor, they will always be poor. That because they failed once, they will never succeed. That because someone told them they are not good enough, they must accept it as truth. But let me tell you something, your circumstances do not define you, your actions do. Your past does not define you, your choices do. When I first came to Mumbai, I had nothing but dreams. I was not the best looking guy, I was not the strongest. I had no famous last name, no contacts, no shortcut to success. But I refused to let that stop me. I refused to let my circumstances decide my fate. I was determined to take control of my story. I knocked on doors, I faced rejections, I heard countless no's, but I never let them write my ending. And that is what made the difference. Taking control of your story does not mean that everything will be easy. It does not mean that the world will suddenly start treating you fairly. It means that you will no longer let the world decide your fate without a fight. It means that you will stop being a passenger in your own life and start driving toward the destination you want. The first step in taking control of your story is to change your mindset. If you believe that you are powerless, you will act powerless. If you believe that you are a victim, you will live like a victim. But if you believe that you are in control, if you believe that you have the power to change your life, you will start making choices that reflect that belief. The second step is to stop blaming others. It is easy to say that life is unfair, that your parents didn't support you, that society is against you, that the world is not giving you a chance. But blaming others does not change your situation. It only makes you feel powerless. The moment you stop blaming and start taking responsibility is the moment you take your power back. The third step is to take action. Dreams are beautiful, but they are useless without action. So many people spend their lives talking about what they want to do, but they never take the first step. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect sign from the universe. But let me tell you, there is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the moment you decide to take action. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know exactly how things will work out. You just need to take the first step and then the next and then the next. That is how every great journey begins. That is how every great story is written. The fourth step is to embrace failure. Most people are so afraid of failing that they never even try. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. The difference is that they did not let failure stop them. They learned from it, they grew from it, and they kept moving forward. I have failed many times, I have made mistakes, I have faced setbacks. But each failure was a lesson, each mistake was a stepping stone, and each setback was a setup for a greater comeback. So do not be afraid of failure, be afraid of regret, because regret lasts forever, but failure is temporary. The final step is to write your own rules. Too many people live by the rules set by others. They follow the path that society has laid out for them, even if it makes them miserable. But the most successful, the most fulfilled, the most extraordinary people in the world are those who dared to break the rules. They dared to challenge the norms. They dared to carve their own path. So if you want to win in life, stop following a script that someone else wrote for you. Stop living for the approval of others. Stop waiting for permission to be great. Decide who you want to be and then become that person. Your story is yours to write. Will it be a story of regret and excuses, or will it be a story of courage and triumph? That choice is yours. But remember, no great story ever ended with the hero playing it safe. No great story was ever written by someone who let others dictate their fate. The greatest stories are written by those who dare to take control, who dare to take risks, who dare to stand up and say, this is my life and I will live it on my terms. So take control, be bold, be fearless, and write a story so incredible that when people read about your life, they will say, this was a person who truly lived. And if you ever doubt yourself, just remember, Your story is not over yet. The best chapters are yet to come. And as we say in Bollywood,